What's up, YouTube? I honestly didn't think I was going to talk about this Karmelo Anthony stuff again. I already made my video talking about the racial psyop and what this really is. This is all theater. This is a psyop, okay? This Karmelo Anthony case and all this Austin Metcalf stuff is no different than a cartoon, okay? No different than you watching anime, watching Dragon Ball Z, okay? You saw the video, you know what I'm talking about. This is all theater, man. The people that are still running around talking about, this event as if it was like actually legitimate. Even people in the truth community that know what's going on. Anybody saying that stuff, I don't know how you are coming to that conclusion, okay? Especially if you know what's going on. You know how they do these ritual events. But that's not going to be the focus of this video, right? Because I'm going to come into this video as if this was a legitimate thing, right? It actually occurred. Okay, let's go with the narrative. Let's go with the story. And I do mean story in all caps. Let's go with the story they've put out. They got all people running around polarizing race stories. You know, the psyop. Let's just go with it, though, like it's actually something legitimate. Okay. This entire case, right, before I even get into why, you see the title, right? About to talk about this Sambo ass nigga Angryman, because I gotta address some goofiness he was on, bro. He did a live stream yesterday crashing out. And I want to address just the lunacy of the video, of the live stream. But before I get into that, I want to say, right, once again, we're acting as if this whole thing is not theater. Okay. And I'm sure I talked about this last year when this stuff first broke out, when I was kind of playing as if it was real, same thing. Let's say, okay, this is some legitimate stuff, and you had a kid under the tent, Karmelo Anthony. It was raining or whatever. I guess he was under the tent. He got invited under the tent, and Austin Metcalf and Hunter Metcalf go over there to try to forcefully remove him. Right? This is the story. And it led to Austin Metcalf, or I guess Hunter Metcalf saying, if you don't leave the tent, I'm going to beat your ass or something. And Austin Metcalf and Hunter Metcalf pursue him. Apparently, there's more details with this story, that it was actually 3 people that approached Karmelo Anthony. According to the story, they're saying he could have actually got jumped. And people were saying the video shows that. If that's the case, I see this story continuing to go on because I don't think they're going to be done with this psyop. They might actually release the video and it's going to show some egregious shit. And then maybe that'll give way for an appeal and they'll just have people crashing out more, right? But, if that's the case, if it was a jumping and 3 people came up on him and, Karmelo Anthony grabs his knife out in self-defense as he claims, right? And stabs Austin Metcalf. Okay. Right there. Let's just say that's the story, right? Do I think he still probably should have pulled out a knife and did that? Nah, because you got to really think like, oh, are you in threat of your life? Because this is what you have to prove. You have to prove that you were in fear for your life, in threat of grievous bodily harm. I mean, someone's trying to remove you from the tent. Do we really think they're about to just bludgeon them into the bleachers? I don't know. And if it wasn't him getting jumped, let's say, because there's so many different angles with this story, right? So many different freaking reports and shit, right? So let's say it was just Austin Metcalf himself or even Hunter Metcalf, both of them. Do I think a knife still should have been used? Not nothing I would have did. I know people talk about the body weight difference, but it's like still, once again, you have to prove that you're in fear of your life and great bodily harm is going to be done to you. I don't really know if that's... Nah, even in that situation, man, I mean, this is some stuff where you're under the bleacher, you're under the tent, someone's trying to remove you from the tent. I understand some people react differently. Maybe they was, threatening to beat his ass and he's like, oh shit, crashed out, right? In this story, let's say someone's in that scenario. Some people might just be like, hey, I got this weapon, you do something to me, whoop-de-whoop. Whatever, man. It's a gray area either way. So I don't know. But would I have grabbed out a knife even if I had one? Nah, I'm not doing that, bro. Whatever, right? But it's a psyop. But like I said, we're playing like this is legitimate, okay? So I wouldn't in that situation. I don't know if I'd do that, right? But whatever. Ultimately, any situation like this should have been handled way better. Austin Metcalf, if he had any sense, should have gone to an authority figure. So either way around, he's a goofy in the situation, because why don't you go to an authority figure? You don't have the right to forcibly remove nobody from a tent. I love how we're not really talking about that angle, right? Angryman Sambo ass don't want to talk about that. Let the roles have been reversed in this story. It would have been a whole different narrative, and I'll get into that later. But, go to an authority figure if you want someone out from under a tent. You don't have the jurisdiction to move anyone from under a tent, okay? So either way around, this is a goofy story, right? A goofy scenario that anyone would be in. I'm immediately going to an authority figure. I'm immediately, oh, you want to lead a tent? I'm not about to say, I'm going to beat your ass, did it? No, I'm going to just go get an authority figure at the track meet. I'm going to be like, hey, some dude's under our tent. Can you tell him to leave? Maybe they say, no, he doesn't have to leave, whatever. Not my business, right? Mind your business, right? That's what anyone would need to learn from a story like this if it was, if it wasn't a psyop. But once again, acting as if this isn't a cartoon. So, yeah, go get an authority figure. Now, getting into this Sambo ass nigga Angryman. I'm telling you, man, Angryman's tap dancing shoes never stop clicking and clacking. They never stop. It's like this nigga takes every opportunity he can to tap dance. Am I going to say that everything he was saying in his live stream was incorrect? Nah. It's only a few things in his live stream that I watched that I was like, come on, bro. You can't be pushing this narrative, understanding the history of this country and the current climate in this country, right? I would say I agree with him when it comes to the using of a knife, whatever, like I said, in a scenario like that, I don't know if I do that, whatever. It's still a gray area. There's still missing details to this story. We still haven't seen the video. And there's people that said they saw the video and it looks kind of crazy. Maybe Karmelo would have been justified. He was about to get jumped or whatever. I don't know. But the story's still not done. I feel like they're going to keep pushing this along, maybe. But people talking about the video, they're going to release a video probably will be AI. But anyway, they're going to release a video and it might change a lot of shit, right? And it's going to keep going in this news cycle. So this story is not even completely over with. There's still missing details. So even trying to do this incrimination of Karmelo Anthony, I mean, there's a lot of stuff missing with this story still. And even the charge of murder, I mean, come on, bro. Y'all saying that he woke up that day and was like, I'm about to go crash out and stab someone. That's basically what you're saying if you're saying he committed first-degree murder, planned, premeditated murder. That's not first degree. But the story's dumb anyway. Like I said, it's a psyop, so it's not supposed to make any sense. But yeah, bro, even with that, if we're going with it, like, that don't make sense for him to get first degree. Like, I don't know, bro. But look, man, Angryman was still engaging in some tap dancing, right? He was right on some shit. He was wrong on some shit. But the tap dancing shit needs to stop, bro. The tap dancing shit needs to stop. Because, unfortunately, Angryman often engages with people that are not able to really articulate why he's wrong on certain shit. And he has a channel where he does a lot of, censoring and stuff and trying to make sure people can't say what they would want to say, right? He likes to ban people in his chat, right? If you watch his live streams, he'll ban a nigga, right? If they say, nigga, why you wearing red? Get out of my chat, nigga. Like, he on that type of shit. So you basically can't say nothing over there on that nigga shit because he'll just ban you. That nigga's a dictator, right? That's how he moving. He's a communist dictator, right? It's funny because he likes to talk against dictators and that. But nigga, he's a dictator. Angryman runs his YouTube channel like a communist dictator, like he is Kim Jong-un, my nigga. That nigga is Kim Jong-un of YouTube, nigga. He over there running it like a dictator. You better not say nothing about that nigga. He booting your ass to the gulag, nigga. So you really can't even engage with this nigga in no debates because he's not gonna let you do it, bro. He's not gonna let you do it. He's gonna boot you, and you can't really move your opinion over there, bro. I saw this nigga crashing out on a one of his own Wrench members or some shit a while back, crashing out on them for disagreeing. Like, you can't disagree with that nigga. So unfortunately, this nigga can just engage in filibuster echo chamber, and no one's gonna be able to actually attack his shit, right? This goofy ninja sat up in that live stream, right, that I saw yesterday, talking about this Karmelo shit, because Jeff Metcalf decided to come out and make a TikTok live. You know, for those who know, they put him up to that. This whole thing's aside, they had Jeff Metcalf do that, I noticed the background. If any of you know, what's really going on, pay attention to the background and the number that's in the background. That's all I'm gonna say. But they had him get up there and say a bunch of goofiness, and Jeff Metcalf's on there crashing out, talking about, Karmelo's a watermelon felon. He's a watermelon felon, and he's crashing out. Y'all embarrassing y'all race, black people, this, that, doing all this dumb shit, right? Once again, the same old goofiness of all black people are judged as a monolith, right? Karmelo Anthony, we're going with this story being not theater, right? So Karmelo Anthony does this. Now all black people are thugs, criminals. This is all on y'all. But let a white man crash out and do something. It's not all white men, right? Right? A white man crash out, do some egregious shit. We're not saying it is just white culture. But with Karmelo Anthony, all you see is goofy niggas. This is black culture. This is their culture. This is what they do. Like, this is the type of shit you're gonna see, because this is the irrational nature of American society when it comes to, dealing with the many different dynamics in this country. This is what you're gonna deal with, right? This is America, right? It's just that simple. So that's the type of hypocritical judging that you're gonna see, right? So Jeff Metcalf's up there doing what they told him to go do. He's crashing out. And Angryman gets up there and, he's basically like, yeah, that nigga, he was preaching truth and yeah, man, y'all niggas this and that. And y'all, Karmelo Anthony was a product of you niggas and how y'all moving and how y'all can't be told to do nothing. And that Karmelo was mad because a white boy tried to tell him what to do, and he was like, ain't no white boy gonna tell me nothing. So he stabbed him because he ain't letting no white man tell him nothing. He was just crashing out on that type of shit, right? And here's the funny thing, man. Not only was he going on that tirade, but then he also said some other dumb shit that I gotta address, bro. This goofy nigga Angryman sat up on his channel on that live stream talking about, this is, all the people that are defending Karmelo, which I think is kind of goofy. This whole thing is it's just like, bro, it's a psyop, man. So it's tiresome for me to even address this, bro. But whatever, man. Even some of the people defending it, I don't really think you should be defending it. I feel like you should acknowledge that it's a tragedy, whatever. And, whatever. All the details still are not out, whatever. It was a crazy self-defense scenario that went bad or whatever. Whatever, man. Some people, even the people that saying it's self-defense, you don't really understand how self-defense works all the way. So that's where I kind of agree with Angryman. But once again, this is a psyop. But like I said, we're going with it. Okay. The people that are defending Karmelo Anthony, all that, Angryman wants to say that y'all are doing this because y'all just hate all white people and y'all evil and y'all are glad that Austin Metcalf is deleted and all this other shit. And see, what makes the thing even more goofy is that you have goofy ninjas that were outside of the courtroom at the case, like basically like, yeah, we glad he deleted and the only good the only good what should I say? The only good so-called white individual is a deleted one and all that. they likely had some dumb niggas go out there, got some agent ass niggas to go out there. You had, a lot of black women out there crashing out. They go grab some. The DNC probably went and grabbed some goofy feminist minded, leftist minded black women, like they do when it comes to these, stories where some feminist minded leftist white women, they go grab these goofies, right? So they went and grabbed some goofy black women, had them out there crashing out and screaming and shit. Just dumb shit, right? Trying to polarize this story and shit. But the funny thing is, a lot of people, from what I'm seeing, really not buying too much into this anymore, which I'm glad, right? A lot of people are getting hip to the game of how they always do these racial stories around the same time period, around, like, it's goofy, right? So a lot of people are just like, this is some goofy shit. But Angryman wants to take the handful of goofy niggas that are, I guess, doing that shit outside the courtroom, and then the people that are, I guess, saying, yeah, this was a self-defense case and trying to defend Karmelo. He's taking that as all y'all hate all white people and shit, and that's why y'all defending it, and y'all evil, and y'all just wicked, and all of this shit, right? And that the only reason y'all talking about this story is because it's racial, and y'all racializing it and all this. And this is how you know Angryman is either, one, a complete and utter retard, or two, he's just intentionally doing this to tap dance. Because if you've been paying attention to anything with this whole story from the beginning of it last year to now, you would know that it's been these goofy racist white people on X and all that have been racializing this. They were the main ones taking this story and running with it to talk about the blacks and all this and the violence, and they engaging in this, and this is black culture and violence 1350 and all that dumb shit, right? Immediately when this shit broke down, I remember a video from some goofy white lawyer who, dude looks like a Resident Evil character. I see why he's mad. But he was out, immediately just, yeah, man, you see, this is, the problem with, crime and these young black males, they just, I don't know, man, just crashing out and this and that. And I'm just like, bruh, like, anytime a nigga does any crime, these goofies are there to post it and make videos and all these goofy posts and shit, trying to highlight, look at the blacks' crime, this and that. Right? Look at the crime they engaging in. Look at this, and all of these different narratives. But these same goofies always ignore white crime. They don't never say nothing about it, bro. So it's funny how Angryman wants to get up here and say that it's black people the one racializes, when it has been from the very inception, these goofy racist white nationalists has been racializing this story and trying to use it as more ammunition and justification for their hatred of black people. Goofy ass Sambo nigga. It's these racist whites that's running around doing this shit. Okay? Sambo ass nigga. It's them that's running around engaging in this behavior, right, with hatred and trying to find any and every angle to justify their wickedness. It's them doing that. Angryman tried to say that oh, you niggas, y'all sit around and y'all wait for stories so y'all can engage in y'all hatred of white people. It's just funny how so much of the stuff he said in that live stream was actually stuff that these goofies online engage in on X and shit. They sit around and wait for any story of black crime, looking for black crime, even making fake black crime videos with AI, bro. I kid you not, bro. They will make an AI video. And a lot of times it'll either be some racist white person in America, mostly, or it'll be some Indian or Nigerian that understands the dynamics of America and understands the low IQ of many white Americans. So they'll go and make an AI video of some black person committing a crime against a white person. And it'll just be droves of idiots in there. Look at the black crime. And it's like, nigga, this is AI, bro. Oh my God, bro. I'm telling you, man, capitalizing off of low IQ Americans is I'm not gonna say too much, but hey, man, I'm starting to get in on this, bro. Not joining in on the making the AI crime videos, because I'm not about to fucking throw fire on that. You know, why would I fucking push that, you know, adding to the propaganda? But there's other ways you can use AI to get these goofies, man, right? You got Indians and shit in India making AI women and shit and doing, you know, like, hey, might as well, bro. Because, I mean, if you're going to be this dumb, I mean, why not capitalize off of the low IQ of these idiots, man? I mean, come on, bro. You know, come on, bro. But anyway, they literally sit around all day waiting for some black crime story so they can polarize it, to use it as their justification for all of their racist agitprop. This is what they do. But Angryman wanted to say this is what you niggas is doing. This you niggas in the black community, this is what y'all do. Y'all sit around and wait for stories to be outraged at white people. This is what y'all niggas do. No, nigga, this is what they do, okay? All right, like I said, either he's retarded or he's just not paying attention to what the fuck's going on and he's just tap dancing, right? You know what I'm saying? Because that's what they do. They wait for any story, right? Any story. And they conveniently ignore the stories where white people do shit. Because see, the reality is they don't care about crime at all. They don't care about Austin Metcalf. The only reason that these goofies are outraged over it is because it was a black kid. That's it. They don't care. For all you goofy ninjas that may be fans of Angryman, and if Angryman were to see this himself, Sambo ass nigga, have you heard of Athena Strand? The answer is probably no. And you want to know why you don't know who Athena Strand is? You're probably like, who's Athena Strand? Who's that? Athena Strand was a white girl, 7-year-old white girl, I believe, that was deleted by a white man. He captured her and deleted her, kidnapped her and deleted her. And the reason you haven't heard about that story is because all of the goofies on X and all that could not racially they couldn't take it and turn it into some racial polarizing story. If that had been a black man that had kidnapped a 7-year-old white girl and deleted Athena Strand, yo, do you not understand the level of like, bro, that story would have been plastered trending on X for weeks, nigga, months even probably. Just, they would have been in there losing their mind, man. They would have been making endless posts, endless videos. The blacks are violent. They can't live amongst us. It would have been the craziest. It would have been more, goofy and just hyperbolic and more, just stupid than the whole Aruna Zarutska stuff, where how they was crashing over that and ignoring the details with that, how he has schizophrenia. They just conveniently ignore that with that story. That was another side, but whatever. In the story, they say they had schizophrenia. They just ignore all that shit and conveniently ignore the stories of white men engaging in the same behavior. Around that same time, too, there was shit going on. But they ignored it, of course, right? But if that had been a black man that did that to Athena Strand, they would have been spazzing out over it. But because it was a white man, you didn't hear nothing about it, bro. You want to know why? Because they don't give a fuck. It shows that they do not care about no crime, bro. They do not care about the safety of nothing. All that dumb shit of protecting white this and that, they don't care, bro. They do not. They are the most anti-white individual. The irony is they talk about they white nationalists, pro-white. No, they hate white people, bro. They hate themselves, bro. They hate themselves. That's actually one staple of why they even engage in the rhetoric they do. They despise themselves, okay? And this is why they're not going to say nothing about that shit, right? Athena Strand, there was no say her name, Athena Strand, none of that shit they was doing with Arana Zaruska, all that performative shit. They did not care because it was a white man. Let it have been a black man, they would have acted like they cared and all this monster, this and that. But they don't care, bro. As a white man, they don't care. Any story is only to try to demonize black people. That's the only reason they talk about these crime stories, bro. It's not because they care. They do not care, bro. They do not care. This Karmelo Anthony case, Austin Metcalf, they do not care. It's just a way for them to further push their racist agitprop and engage in anti-blackness. They do not care about crime at all. At all. You could have tomorrow, as of me making this video, tomorrow it could be 5 white men that go into an orphanage and start unloading, crashing out, and deleting. It could be plastered all over CNN, Fox News, and these goofies would not really care. They wouldn't have the same energy that they do for this story, Carmelo Anthony's story. They wouldn't have the same energy as they did for Aaron's. They would not, bro, because they do not care. It's all about demonizing blacks. That's it. So, Angryman, you Sambo, tap dancing, Bojangles ass nigga. I'ma need you to sit down and shut the fuck up. That's all I gotta say for this video, man. I'm out.